Yeah, that's right. I think the other challenge I've seen is the information architecture issue. So, most of the sites were built some years back or many years back, and, the directory structure, things of that are not there. And you being such a large site, have you encountered any information architecture issues? And if you did you correct them or something?
Oh yeah, information architecture for such a mid or large media site is definitely a challenge, because you can't start from scratch. Where, for instance, I was on the panel with Sherry Thoreau, and she, really defined information architecture as, this is best practices and this is how you can implement it. But for a lot of large media sites, it's already been in existence and you have the legacy issues. So there's multiple challenges where the business goals, the corporate business plans, or the design, or the content structure, or even your publishing system might have limitations to how you define your information architecture. And I think for a lot of SEOs, you have to be that referee between editorial, technology, and marketing, and just to have them understand that findability and usability isn't just solely defined in one way. And I think for a lot of sites that do take in SEO, they use the SEO as a value or a bargaining chip to make a case for maybe, let's say, a navigation, or for the prioritizing certain categories. But like top queries don't necessarily mean that it's the perfect label for your site. And you really have to know, as media sites, you have to know what's important for your site. And this goes across beyond media sites. Just know that your content and who your audience is and what you're trying to deliver.
Right. One of the words you just used has really stuck with me, and it's called being the referee, right? As an in-house SEO, you need to be the referee, but I think in order to be a referee, you need to get a lot of buy-in, you need to get a lot of support, and a lot of trust from other units and writers. How did you go about getting that trust?
It's been a long process. It's not easy. There's no magic tool. Really, again, it's training and getting the support from the editorial staff, but also, reaching out to technology and just really having everyone understand that you're really trying to grow traffic for your site, through search, and what are the tools, and what can you do now with the resources that you have, and with marketing and corporate, just knowing what the business goals are and trying to, make follow along those paths to really help the site grow in that way. Or maybe it's emerging technology, for instance, video, no one's really defined or figured out the best way to go about with video search and optimization. So again, it's keeping your finger on the pulse of that, and also bringing that over to the technology team to figure out what's the best way to optimize for video with the resources that you have.
Yeah, that's a great point. Part of the reason what I see is, I think we got some disturbance there. It's like an earthquake, right?
Yeah. Should we try that again?
That's fine.
I'd wait till we do that.
Yeah. But it's still rolling, right, Josh? It's still rolling. I was going to ask you next question.
We could try that again. I can shorten it.
Okay.
Just take a pause and then just.
Yeah. The next question I want to ask you is social media. Social media is so important. We are realizing that, and more news side, in fact, everyone is using social media in some shape or form. How are you trying to integrate social media into your news?
Social media is definitely definitely important, and it's really. I need to stop on this. I have to think about this.
Yeah.
Social. Wow, that's a good question. Okay, social. How is the news site?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Embracing social
yeah,
media,
you're just hiring someone for social media, right?
Oh, yeah,
What
yeah.
exactly you want them to do, right?
Oh, okay, okay,
So
okay.
that could be your vision, right?
All right,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
Okay.
I'll
you
just.
want to re-ask the question again?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
I think that took your
Yeah,
focus
yeah,
off.
took me off.
I figured. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the next question I want to ask you is about social media. I mean, everyone is doing social media in some shape or form, but I think the news side can really leverage social media, and I've seen some folks do it. But at ABC News, how are you approaching social media, and what are your vision or your plans to integrate social media, search, and all of that stuff?
Yeah, social media is definitely important and is changing the landscape for a lot of media sites. I mean, we're seeing that Facebook now is, one of the most important sites to share news stories, to share video. Probably catching up, or if not having caught up with Google News. So I think a lot of media sites. I mean, for our site, we're having a editorial group called Audience Growth and Development. So we're tasked to really help drive traffic through search and social media and linkage and link partners. So in terms of, for us, we have to look at our Facebook and Twitter strategies. On a daily level with editorial, a lot of our digital journalists are just so great. I mean, they already have an understanding of social media because they use it themselves. They also use social media to help with finding sources. So, for ABC News, it's aligning again the business goals with the social media strategies, and that can come from just a working relationship with editorial and marketing. So we have our flagship shows like Good Morning America and World News. World News with Diane Sawyer has a Facebook and fans. Good Morning America has over 1 million Twitter followers. So it's just, really bringing them the content that they're interested in off of those programs. That's one example. We also have our abcnews.com verticals, again, technology, travel, and business. So using those just natural, or conventional news categories, each producer, and again, we have I have a social media editor who is just so great. I mean, she helps with, really holding and maintaining the ABC News accounts for Facebook and Twitter, and putting out what's out there and what's important, and really engaging with our fans in terms of, this is the news of the moment. This is, she's also coming up with Facebook quizzes to really engage and
Polls and
interact
stuff,
with the followers, because it's not just a promo tool now, right? So I think that's the misinterpretation of social media, is Facebook and Twitter is just a promo tool, and it's not. It's community. It's community
engaging.
building. It's engagement. It's really bringing them what they're looking for, because as with Facebook and friends, and and the followers, they know and they will respond if they feel that something's skewed or something's wrong or something's off. They're going to be vocal about it. So it's just important to engage and understand who your fans are, and to provide them that content that they're looking for. And for us as a news site, it's great because we can provide a funny video or oddity, a medical mystery or marvel type of story to, a video of a crash or a developing news, or even breaking news, right? So instead of just, email alerts of breaking news. Now we've moved on to like using social media tools, and you see like now more and more journalists using social media to really get a pulse on what's developing. Right. So it's definitely, I think it's definitely changing the landscape, but I think old principles apply, whether they be journalism or SEO, just applying over to the social media platform.
Well, that's a great point, and your social media person sounds like one busy lady.
Yeah.
So it's great. But thank you so much, Eleanor, for all your tips and insights, and thank you for doing us. Thank you.